Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
From the fabulous HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, more guests from the Hideout, along with the folks from the car clubs attending today's cruise in. That's later on. And also, we'll have a look at the automotive headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. And a rare appearance by His Highness. You have to share the title. David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. And joining us in the In Wheel Time remote broadcast studio. Did you like that? Mm-hmm. I can't hear him.
Loved it.
Did you love it?
I loved it.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, I just renamed it the remote broadcast studio here at the HEMI Hideout.
All right. Well, we're here.
You know
we're
what
ready.
I'm thinking is that what we could do, and I'm sure that everybody will love this idea, including you.
Okay.
We'll build a built-in studio for In Wheel Time.
I'll do that for you.
Will you?
All I need is David.
We all need David.
We all need David, but we'll be off the races. I'll do that if you want.
I know.
We need a makeup room. We need a jacuzzi. We need a kitchen. We need all that. Yeah.
We've got the pond out back.
The
pond will have
good.
to do. But I'm thinking, they do that in, certain instances, especially in New York, where they have the studios out on the street, the looking glass studio, and you can see out there.
Yeah.
So we just have it here.
Okay, we can do that.
And every time that you have an event here, well, not every time, but most events that you have here, we'll come out here and do a remote. And I'm sure that none of us have a problem driving out to the Brookshire and the HEMI Hideout as long as the highway gets fixed.
I had no problem getting here this morning. I did not have a couple of stoplights. You stop at the red, you go on the green, and I made it here in 35 minutes.
You were paying attention to what you were doing. The rest of us still asleep at the wheel.
Thank you.
Totally.
And
I had a helper guiding me.
Well, there
through
you
the
go.
asleep at the wheel directions. Yeah. Oh, we missed it. Look, there's the recreational RV places we passed by doing 50.
GPS stands for the girl's pretty sure.
That's right. Well, the exit will be fixed by, they say January. It'll be fixed. It's a mess out there, but thanks for putting up with it.
You're such a tease. They've been saying that for how many years now?
9 years and counting.
There you go.
And it is still all tore up, especially with the walls of death trying to come out this way because there's no way to go.
The bowling alley.
Yeah, they found
the bowling alley.
Bowling alley.
They found some rare bird or frog or insect or something in the water, and that's what delayed the construction.
That's great.
But now it's okay to run over whatever the frog or it's okay. Go on.
They found another one someplace else. So this one can die.
They're really good with hollandaise sauce.
There's that.
Butter poach.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to tease something that we're going to try at the top of the hour, but you're in on this too.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about other things right now. Because, I've noticed that there are fewer and fewer, every time we come here, there are fewer and fewer cars in here.
Well, I'm getting old and it's time to thin things out a little bit.
You're not thinning anything out. You're just moving them out to another barn and a holding area.
Replacing is what it is. He's got to find space for the other stuff he's collecting.
Yeah. Shelley and Diane make me clean up my mess. I get all this stuff, and it'll be piled up like a kid's dirty closet, and they make me clean it up. I just move it to another spot, go out and get some more junk.
Exactly. Because I'm thinking, look, Dean, here, there aren't as many cars as there normally are in here.
Well, he's got a function going on.
I know.
You have to kind of adjust things.
And you do that, I guess, on a regular basis, don't you?
We move them out. If we get a lot of people in here, we'll move out. But these are the cars. There's one car that's missing right now.
Wait.
It goes
no,
right over
my
there.
car's still back there in the back.
Yeah.
There's an orange Super Bee from the very back that's we've been driving it.
there.
Really?
Yeah.
Where you been driving it to?
Westbury.
You have not been driving it to Westbury. Don't tease me with that. He walks in and says, oh, I had some of your friends over here last week. I said, who would that be? Oh, some people from Westbury High School.
Oh,
Duck.
So it was the pre-release prison is what it was.
Exactly. I was afraid to mention any names.
Right.
They want to get
Don,
punched.
no, never mind. Don't even bring up Don Armstrong. No, don't do that. Well, it's great to to have invited ourselves out here, and we thank we thank you for that.
We're always glad to have you, so don't ever hesitate. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
So what's the newest addition out here? You're always
Okay,
some new toys.
You notice that boat's up there propped up?
Yep, I noticed that.
That's
when I
new,
walked in.
made in 1930. It's made in Maine, and it's called a freight canoe, like to scoot items from island to island or whatever.
Let me just tell you something, and you can relate to this.
Okay.
Probably nobody else can, but back in the day, back in our day,
Yes.
back in high school, there used to be a cologne called Canoe.
Oh, I remember.
Do you canoe? Canoe? Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I forgot all about it. You got a memory like an elephant.
Tell
And
her
and
that.
that's a big canoe.
That's a big canoe. You see how wide it is? It's for moving freight. And someone just told me that from Maine. Said that's a freight canoe.
Thought it was for the mother-in-law.
I thought it was a skiff or something.
Where do you have an opportunity? Where do you have an opportunity to move freight that you can get into a canoe? Now, I guess really the question is, what's the definition of freight? Because that, to me, is not freightable.
Well, in other words, on the coast of Maine, there's a lot of small islands. They would just, in the old days, they would run stuff out.
Yeah.
So you could take
And
your
when you were a
24 pack of
kid, don't
toilet
you remember
paper
when
and
you
stuff
were a
like that
kid?
and put it
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Well, I think back in it was more like beaver pelts and salt and things, the staples of getting you through that.
Well, again, it was
Yeah,
1930s,
because there wasn't a
1940s.
Walmart out
No.
there.
It wasn't Walmart.
Only somebody from Detroit would know that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we had those all the time.
In the Detroit River.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the
Greg,
well,
but we do have some other things that we brought in here. Right here at the front door, we've got a 1916 Harley Davidson dealership sign in pristine condition. It's cardboard. It's framed. It's in an outstanding condition. And we also have a Firestone sign out there. This Coca-Cola sign behind the lights here is 1937. That one up there, the neon up there.
Yep.
And so that's new. There's always something we got going on that brand
I know.
is new.
I was talking to your restorer, Bill Prokrobic, who's standing back there, and I said, so how do you, he's got a whole building back there full of stuff that are waiting for his touch.
Yes.
So how do you decide? He says, well, I work on this for a while, and then I can't figure something out, or I get tired of it, or I get frustrated with it, and I'll move over to something else. And then once he gets back on track with that thing, then he'll work on that some more.
Sure.
So he's got lots of projects going on at the same time.
Right.
Juggling all of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, some things can get pretty frustrating at times, but he's pretty good at knocking stuff out.
I know.
It really is. He does a lot. There's a lot of Bill's touches in this building for sure.
Well,
So
clearly we are very well aware of that. Yeah. I love the cabinet that he built that's in the men's restroom out of nuts and bolts and wrenches and all sorts of things.
Yeah, he's
brilliant.
Pretty handy, all that furniture and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't know how you got it in here because it must weigh a bajillion pounds.
It's not as heavy as it looks, but anyway, it is a little heavy, but not
like
that bad.
Yeah, it's very nice.
when you're, and I'm going to call it shopping, I don't know that it's necessarily shopping, but when you're out looking for new things for the place, do you already have a location inside the building kind of selected?
I can answer that. No.
Or is it just you get it and then you got to figure out where to put it?
Sometimes if it's a round sign, we've got places to put it, no problem. But if it's something big, Bill just finished doing a big Mack truck Bulldog, 13.5 feet wide, 11.5 feet tall, porcelain neon sign. So we're going to have to take some things down on the end of the building down there to put this gigantic Bulldog up, and we'll have to do some surgery in here. So it's getting cozy and a little bit difficult to squeeze more things in. I think we're getting close to now we're trying to bring in things that are really significant or quality, and then maybe upgrade, not necessarily add more stuff, but there's still room to hang things.
Are you
Look
selling
up in
stuff?
rafters. Yeah,
Do
we're
you
starting to sell some things too. Yeah, that's fun too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it all online?
No, we pretty much everybody knows us, and we all sell and trade. And well, like today, there'll be a bunch of people that go to Bill's shop, and we'll have a bunch of stuff for sale. Things we've taken down that we started with and upgraded, and so it ends up in his shop. And he's got a bunch of stuff too to sell. So
amazing. Because it's gotten to the point now where you're upgrading, and
Yes.
we thought that was quality stuff to begin with.
Well, in other words, like if you have a Phillips 66 or Shell or Texaco, a lot of that stuff's commonplace, and you can, or Coca-Cola, you can jam it with all kinds of Coca. I don't want to put too much of one thing.
Right.
And now the rare things, you'll see things like Texas Pacific or that Idaho gasoline. Those are sure enough rare items there. Like the pure oil, that's very common. The Sky Chief sign is no big deal about that.
Idaho Chief gasoline.
Yes.
That's new.
That's new. That's right. That's fairly new.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That I noticed.
Yes. So see that the Chief gasoline, there was Washington gasoline, Oregon, and Montana gasoline, and Idaho is the rarest of the four. There were fewer Idaho Chief gasolines than all the rest. Washington would be the most common, Oregon would be next, Montana third, Idaho fourth.
How do you learn that stuff?
Well, in a circle. It's kind of like your craft. You just learn. And you at first you make a bunch of mistakes and you buy things you shouldn't buy or buy things from people you shouldn't buy from, and you learn, and okay, you take your whipping and you keep on rolling down the road.
Right.
So it's not always a home run.
So it's relatively a tight-knit community of people that are selling these things, and you guys kind of chit-chat amongst yourselves to find out who's got the unique and quality stuff, and then you chit-chat about who's got the junk that he's pawning off as unique and quality stuff. And
people talk.
Kind of.
And we also go to auctions. So, for instance, if I kick the bucket, Diane's going to load all this stuff up. It's going to go to Pennsylvania or wherever and get sold. So normally when you buy the rare stuff, it's somebody has died or gotten a divorce or
He pointed at you.
Why did he point at me?
He pointed at you.
I didn't do it.
or
It wasn't my fault.
or has had some kind of financial calamity.
Tell us more about your wonderful wife.
We're still working on it.
Yeah.
Wives.
How long have you been married?
51 years, going on 52.
Wow. This is a high school.
I was but a child.
Yes. We all were at that time. But so were you all high school boyfriend?
No,
girlfriend?
she grew up in the Hill Country, Blanco, Texas, and I'm from Houston.
Well, how did you two
were from
meet
the big
then?
city.
Well, I ran to the Hill Country and went into town. You know how it goes.
You
I
devil,
don't don't tell me.
Yeah. No, I already know.
The big city slicker and his super big.
Listen,
Yeah.
even though I didn't really know him, I know him.
Yeah. Okay, so Conrad came up with a good point. Here I go up to Blanco, Texas. We used to have a deer lease up there. So we started going camping, me and my buddies and everything. We go to town. So I drive in town with hair down to here in a yellow Super Bee, and I went over like a lead balloon in Blanco, Texas.
Yeah.
Those rednecks did not like me.
Yeah, with the glass packs or the
Glass packs?
cherry bombs or something that you'd put on there. There was really
Rattle the
loud.
windows driving downtown.
And he probably stuck a pair of headers on it with cutouts on it and did all that.
I couldn't figure out how to put one of those gun racks in the back window of that Super Bee. like all those
Do you remember those days?
Yeah, I do. Everybody drove around, went to school with guns in the back of the car.
Yeah, and a rack.
And that was normal.
That's normal.
And you showed them off to everybody.
Yeah, no big deal.
And it wasn't a big deal. Oh, look, there's some redneck going down there with the gun in the back window.
Yeah.
Got to have something in the back window. Might as well have a big gun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it.
It was a different world back then.
Let's get back to the long hair.
All right.
Do you have pictures of the long hair, John?
I do indeed.
Well, we need to dig those out.
Well, I'll dig one out in just a second. I'll show you. You won't believe it.
Shelley knows where one is. I
He's
think
on
she's
the
headed
way.
that way right now.
No, Diane does.
I'm sorry, Diane.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that when you say that, then everybody jumps to their feet and they're going to go and dig out all the ones that you haven't seen in quite
It's
a while.
ridiculous who you surround yourself by. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
believe
You
me,
get
I
real
know.
short.
Yeah, I'm very well aware of it.
Yeah, he says that about us all the time.
Yeah, you know, and it's truly amazing who you make friends with and those that have an impact on your life through the years. Many of them just kind of
Come and go.
Yeah, they come and go.
Yeah.
But then there are those that last. Bill Seitz, where are you? He's not even listening.
back
He
there,
could
man.
care
He was
less. He's
over
got
there
his back
somewhere. He's
to
back
us.
over here, yeah.
Well, see, I used to run with a bunch of guys like Don, but those guys had to go. You know,
After a while.
When I got to 21 years old, those guys got to be put on a shelf. you know.
Yeah, they're all
No, I
doing
don't
7
know.
to 12 up at the Walls unit, right?
The walls. That's right. Yes, I flew over the Walls unit here not too long ago. That was interesting.
See anybody you knew?
No, not that I could recognize.
Stop and give anybody a lift?
No, none of that. But I didn't realize that there were a lot of prisons up there. So, John, we still have a chance. We could pick
Yeah,
one. There's got to be a half a dozen of them up there.
That's right.
Yeah,
Save me a spot.
Yeah, well, always.
So you were saying you've got one of the cars that you're kind of out cruising around in a bit?
Yeah, 69 and a half lift-off hood. Remember the 446-pack
The
Super B?
B12, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, A12. A12.
Is that not the green one? No, the green one's over there.
It's the orange one that's in the very back there. So
Okay.
I decided I'm going to get that out and cruise around a little bit and been having fun with that. So I need to drive. You know, if you don't drive them, they go to pot. So I've got 4 of them that I can get out and drive. The rest of them I got to drop the tank, clean the gas out, rebuild carburetors, are ready to go.
Because you don't drive them enough.
That's right. I'm getting lazy and old, and they're not as important
I
to drive.
imagine that it attracts attention when you're out driving around in it.
Sure, just like the Oldsmobile.
Everybody stops to look at it and take a picture
Yeah.
of it and ask you questions about it.
Yeah, because these days you can only get a white, black, or silver car, you know, and if you got a yellow one or an orange one or something that stick out like a
Something
sore
unique.
thumb.
Well, he said he had 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Mike, you're out.
You know, I think one of our first ventures down at Houston Autorama
Yes,
featured your green car.
that's right.
And we're kind of looking, and I haven't talked to Mars about this. I think that we're kind of looking around. That's you?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Go here. Somebody take that, walk that up to that camera. Needs to walk. That's you. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, hold it up in front of that camera there, so the whole world.
Hey, let's don't run the crowd off.
John, really
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah, your parents are proud.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, just hold it right up there in front of that camera.
A little closer.
Can you
a
see
little
that?
closer.
Yeah, there.
Perfect. A little lower. A little lower.
Little lower.
Uh-oh, it just went away.
Screen went
The
dark.
screen went dark.
That's good.
There it is.
There it is.
cow.
Wow.
That's John.
Beard
my
and
God.
long.
Oh
hair.
yeah, oh yeah.
Now, what year was that?
That was probably 1975 or 6.
Looked like the bass player to Kansas.
Yeah. Well,
Or Jesus.
Charles Manson. Yeah, that's where it most
Charles Manson.
looked more like him. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was swinging the world by the tail, driving around that Super B, you know, and listen
yeah.
to Rolling Stones and get off my cloud.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're still doing
jamming
that.
to the tunes with
Oh,
your
yeah.
Jensen triaxles in the back.
that's true.
And you still have those on an 8-track somewhere.
They're in the car.
You're right. I do have some on 8-track somewhere. I don't know where they are, but it's still my favorite music. You know, it's like these cars we all talk about. They're in your soul, whatever you drove young, and then the music we all listen to. So I still like the early Rolling Stones. Could care less about the late stuff or going to one of their concerts.
So what would you think that I would be listening to in my 1965 Corvair?
Tiny bubbles.
Some Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Don Ho.
Don Ho, Tiny Bubbles. Yeah.
Don Ho.
I saw Don Ho in a TV show. I think it was the Partridge Family recently. I was flipping channels, and who's that guy?
And he stopped to watch it.
I had to, and it was Don Ho. You know, I wanted to talk briefly about this band of heathens, and I mean that in a kind way.
Oh, indeed.
That you've collected here at the HEMI Hideout. Some you knew before the Hideout, I assume.
That's true.
And others have kind of glommed on like me, us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
grateful.
Well, and you know, it's interesting because, and I was trying to share this with Leslie, the fact that the car community has brought a different segment of my life, great joy, and it still continues today. This car show, for instance, these guys, it's all because of cars.
Yeah, a brotherhood indeed. I wouldn't trade our group. We've got like 30 people in our group, more or less, and I wouldn't trade them for love or money. This has been the ride of our lives inclusively. We all have ownership in HEMI Hideout.
Yep.
We're proud of it, and so many people have contributed heart and soul. like my buddy Tom Queen here. We've traveled all over the United States and gathered up all this stuff, and Bill Seitz, man, Bill Prokopic. You just go on. You guys, thank you so much. It really is a team effort. Nobody whips the world by themselves.
Well, and Sykes had mentioned when he was here earlier that, it's a family. It's for you. It's not just friends. These people have all become, an internal family for you.
Sure.
And the way that you talk about them, you can hear that you're passionate about them and grateful that they're part of it.
And one other thing that people enjoy is the network that brings people together. It's the car. It's the automobile. It's the travel. I mean, you could go everything from travel to car to maintenance to whatever. There aren't very many things left that people can glom onto that actually say, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing, everlasting community.
Sure.
It is.
We believe in when you walk in the door, have a warm reception. We try to engage with people who don't engage very well. And when you leave, a warm exit when you leave. And this group is part of the success of HEMI Hideout. There's no question about it. I like having a certain personality in our group that will engage with people when they come in. And it's not just to come in here and walk out and no one says a word to you.
And then there's us. You're going, what have I done?
How did these people get through the door?
Yeah, these morons. Well, I will say this, that if it weren't for Bill Seitz, I would know you. Mm-hmm. And when he called me that day, he said, listen, I wanted to let you know that I'm working on this project. Well, how many times have you heard that? And in a car life, you got this guy that, put a few signs up in his garage at the house and maybe put, a 6-inch lift in there so you can get underneath the car. Yeah. And that was his project. And I had no clue. I had no clue what to. He wouldn't really expand on the definition of what this was.
Yes.
He says, you're going to love it. He's a car guy through and through. I think that you guys would really like each other. And so I said, okay. So the time came when I finally got the invite in the early days of the Hideout and came out here and met you. And I felt a connection from the very beginning. Yeah. And I think that all of us do. And everybody that comes out here, the people that know you. And the interesting thing about it is that you've become nationwide now. You've had interviews with some very famous people on television shows across the United States. And I think that comes through. And I would imagine that you've probably gotten emails and letters and that sort of stuff from people that you don't even know because of that exposure.
It's unbelievable. We get people from all over the world. It's a world society now, but you're right. Just the connections you make, the doors you open, you can't stop doing that as long as you do it all your life. And the more you do it, the better off you are.
Did you have any idea that it would turn into this when you started building this?
This is going to be a man cave, and then, okay, that's done, go do something else. And then people started coming, and every day we do tours Monday through Friday at 9:30 to 11, and then 1 to 2:30, and there's constant flow of people coming in here. Life is good.
Yeah.
Very
and
good.
when that freeway gets done, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, shit. Yeah, if it ever gets done, like you say.
And when does the highway department say it's going to be done?
They say it's going to be January, that our exit will be open.
I saw this concrete
there.
But
they did not say what year. They just said January.
Mike,
January.
Come on, man.
Well, hopefully it'll be. So our goal in the present moment is to get up. Mr. Mars is going to join us, and we're going to kind of do a little walk around and see how far we can get in the walk around in the next segment. Is you good with that?
Sure.
I want to get this in before the people start really.
No worries.
Yeah.
They'll be coming soon.
Because you'll get real busy here a little bit.
Talk about some of the highlights.
Yeah. So we can go around and see some of the cars and some of the stuff that's on the walls and that sort of stuff.
Very good.
All right. Thank you, John Hovas. He's the curator here at the HEMI Hideout. Did you like that?
I like that.
That just popped right into my head
did.
for some unknown reason, because nothing pops into my head anymore. Let's see. I wanted to give you some headlines before we go to the break. Some recalls. Volkswagen Atlas for 2019 being recalled because of a side airbag may deploy improperly and hang out the window when you're going down the freeway at 90 miles an hour. Roof rail airbag inflator may rupture on a Buick and a Chevrolet. The Buick is the Verano. The Chevy is the Cruze for 2014. What in the world is a roof rail airbag inflator?
That's
It's on the top.
Yeah, it's for rollover protection.
But it's inside the car.
Yeah, it's like a curtain.
To me, a roof rail is out on the outside.
Well, no, but this is the roof rails on the inside.
For the
it's
airbag,
for
yeah.
rollover protection.
Got it. Vehicle rollaway from a drive shaft disconnect.
Oops, that's not good.
That's not good. That would be on the Ford Explorer from 2020 to 2022. Mercedes-Benz AMG SL55 and 63 from 22 to 23. Improperly secured electrical wiring harness. That could be
That's
ugly.
a thermal event.
It could waiting
in
to
your
happen.
$200,000 AMG.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Ford Motor Company recalling nearly 35,000 Mustang Mach-E electric crossovers in the U.S. because the high-voltage battery contactor might overheat, resulting in a loss of motive power. What is a contactor?
Connector, where two wires or two circuits come together. That
Would they touch?
right.
Yeah. The recall
Contact.
covers 2021 to 22 Mustang Mach-E's equipped with extended range battery and comes after NHTSA in August launched an investigation into Ford's handling of a June 22 recall of nearly 50,000 of the automaker's high-profile EV.
So they're recalling the recall.
Yep, again. And there's more of those going more and more so every day.
I just had I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The stabilizer link recall on my car just this past week.
And what year is your car?
13. And I was at the Cadillac dealership during the Lyric event, and it worked out where I was watching all these nice, beautiful automobiles, the best in the world, Cadillac.
That was a commercial that you just
I think I
slipped
just
in there.
did, yeah.
Did you get to sit in one?
I did. I took pictures, sent them to you guys.
Yeah, well, I
I didn't go on the test drive or anything.
Did you get your stabilizer link
Oh,
fixed?
yeah, it was all good stuff, yeah.
They brought it in, replaced it, and
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Does it drive differently now?
I didn't think it would be noticeable, but it kind of is.
Is
Kinda
it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Stabilizer link. So is it kind of like a
It's like-
sway bar or
yeah, it's
something?
like almost like a
It's the connector between the sway bar and the lower control arm.
yeah.
Gotcha.
There's some kind of recall.
Odd 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to take a quick break now. We'll be right back.
Or 10 years after if you're into rock bands.
There you go.
Okay, thank you for that. We're going to take a quick break now here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance has the absolute best price that you will find on GM parts plus transmissions and engines. Over $25 million in parts and powertrain inventory and customer service that will be not matched by anyone in the country. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance, whether you are a drag racer, an oval track racer, a hot rodder, it matters not. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance will have the best price in the country, the best customer service, and the best delivery times that you will find on your GM parts. It can be on your dock, at your front door in a matter of days. It's Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet, GM Performance, and customer service to boot. Contact our Texas team, Gina Shile-Knowles at 713-907-0906 or Rodney Rodriguez at 512-300-4445. You will not find better service or better inventory in the country. Rogers Dabbs and GM Performance.
Houston's finest cars are invited to another Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, and you're invited too. Show off your personal pride and joy, or just stop in to see the likes of Lucid, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, and more. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. It all takes place Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon. This is the perfect opportunity to connect with other car enthusiasts. From BMWs to Bentleys, Corvettes to McLarens, the Car Social is a different kind of show. Talk to the owners. See Gulf Coast Auto Shield's facility. You'll be amazed. Put it on your calendar now. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. We'll see you then.
You guys,
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance has the absolute best price that you will find on GM parts plus transmissions and engines. Over $25 million in parts and powertrain inventory and customer service that will be not matched by anyone in the country. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance, whether you are a drag racer, an oval track racer, a hot rodder, it matters not. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance will have the best price in the country, the best customer service, and the best delivery times that you will find on your GM parts. It can be on your dock, at your front door in a matter of days. It's Rogers Dabb Chevrolet, GM Performance, and customer service to boot. Contact our Texas team, Gina Scheil-Knowles, at 713-907-0906, or Rodney Rodriguez at 512-300-4445. You will not find better service or better inventory in the country. Rogers, Dabbs, and GM Performance.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher.